Welcome to day 30 of the Daily Warrior Ritual Challenge. I hope you guys have been seeing the results. You may not necessarily see the results that you expect, but nevertheless, you have seen the results, and congratulations, you have made it to the end of the month. It's day 30. Like, if you're not adding this into your confidence builder folder that maybe you have created, you need to, because this is an accomplishment. 30 days, a 30-day commitment is, regardless of how small the achievement is, it's still an achievement. So give yourself a round of applause, give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a reward. If you haven't been rewarding yourself either daily, weekly, give yourself this 30-day reward. You deserve it. So regardless of if you achieved your goal or not, setting out to work towards making the change in your life that you really want, give yourself that reward. You deserve a reward, even if it's the smallest thing, maybe a can of soda, or get yourself a fruit platter. Um, you can, it doesn't even have to be anything that's edible or drinkable. It could be something as small as, I don't know, giving yourself an hour of just endlessly scrolling on social media, or giving yourself an hour of just being in gratitude, or being in, or just self-love. Like, you could do anything, whatever the routine. Well, you should be doing self-love regardless of, but maybe do something that you may not normally do on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. Like, maybe you want to splurge on yourself. Like, now if you want to splurge, go ahead, but just, I think bigger rewards should come from, it depends on how you want to go about giving yourself a reward. Actually, I don't want to really speak about my opinion on rewarding yourself. Like, your reward system is yours, and never let anybody shame you for whatever rewards that you're giving yourself. Okay, be kind to yourself. This is all about being kind to yourself, being aware of yourself, and paying more attention to our self. So today is about, let's reflect on the past 30 days. Not only reward yourself, but reflect. What did you learn? Like, maybe go through whatever it is that you wrote. Reflect on those things. Reflect on the previous. I know in on day 15 I've said to reflect, but I want you to reflect on all of this as a whole, because that was more of reflecting on the previous 15 days. So this is more of reflect on those last 15 days, but also as a whole. So, like, maybe reflect, because I know you, hopefully you are listening to this, but if you're not, like, just reflect on it as a whole. Um, but what is it that worked for you? And I know I keep saying that in the videos, but it's like, what truly worked? What stuck through these last 30 days? Like, what stuck for you? What didn't? What didn't work? Did you beat yourself up? Like, some of the things that you should definitely pay attention to. Like, if you stop beating yourself up, that's more than enough reason to reward yourself. Even if it's something small, just give yourself something that's just like, you are paying attention and giving yourself the the attention that you genuinely deserve. When we do these little things for ourselves, like, we take back the power of feeling like someone else needs to do it for us. We should give ourselves these things. Like, it shouldn't just be given by someone else. Like, it's nice if you're rewarded for your efforts and whatever it is you're doing, but those things are not guaranteed, and not everybody thinks in terms of that, which is fine. But reward yourself, love on yourself, give yourself the genuine gratitude of completing something. Like if you're someone that doesn't normally complete things and you have, tell you the truth, I'm very proud of you. I may not necessarily know you at this moment in time, or I may, but regardless of that, just know that there are people out here, regardless of if they know you or not. We're proud. We're proud that you are taking the steps to taking back the power in which that you've always had. It's just you didn't realize you had it. So be proud of yourself too. That's what truly should matter. Not necessarily someone else being proud of you, but being proud of yourself, like doing the things that helps you feel fulfilled and proud of. So, um, so after 30 days of working on a routine, it's a good idea to take a moment to reflect on your progress and assess how well your routine is working for you. So I want to give you a few steps. So I think on day 15, I did give you some questions to answer. You can refer back to that as reflection questions. And also just maybe note this in mind as well, or keep this on the sidelines to keep for when you are refreshing whatever it is you're doing to move forward with your routines. So um, so review your progress. So that's what we're speaking about. So look back at the items in your confident builder um, folder and consider how far you've come in the past 30 days. So how have you made progress towards your goals? What accomplishments are you proud of? Even if they're small day-to-day accomplishments, they don't have to be like the overall goal. Like maybe you did accomplish that goal, that's great. But if you didn't, this isn't necessarily, it's okay. Like certain goals, they need to, they need time and dedication and persistence for you to accomplish certain things, depending on what it is that you set out to accomplish. Okay, so assess your routine. Consider whether your current routine is helping you achieve your goals and priorities. Are there any risks or activities that you can delegate, eliminate to make your routine more efficient? Are there any changes you need to make to better support your goals? That's pretty self-explanatory. Um, Set new goals based on your progress and effectiveness of your current routine. Consider what new goals you might want to set for the next 30 days. These could be related to your current routine or they can be new goals entirely. So, certain goals may take longer. So, it's like just it's okay to have more than just one goal, but maybe those goals are complementary. You know, when I speak very broad in this challenge, it's because it's not to pin anything as if this is the only way you could go about it. So there's many ways we could go about achieving things and going forward with stuff, and even tackling on little um goals that we could still achieve while still working towards the bigger goal that we want. So it's like don't limit yourself to just that big goal. It's like what else could you do with that's within that may be in between it, or whatever it may be. There's really no limits as far as this can go. So did that make sense? I believe it did. So it's like don't limit yourself to just one goal just because that's the biggest goal you've ever had. Like don't, like this is why I speak about being more open-minded and being more open to more experiences and open to more ways of achieving the things that we want to go. And sometimes we have to reroute. It's kind of like think about like centaurs in their maze. Not necessarily the centaurs, but the centaur's maze. Their maze. Sometimes you might be going through the maze and you feel like you're going somewhere, but then you hit a dead end. Sometimes you need to retrace your steps and go back and go to another uh, opening until you get to where it is you need to go. Think of it in terms of that. Sometimes we need to reroute, and sometimes we need to refine and retune and pay attention to what worked for us and what didn't. So, um, and and I've spoke about this. I don't remember which day it was, but long term, short term commitments, and realizing that sometimes we need those smaller goals in between our bigger ones to help us keep moving. Sometimes we need that little push to keep us going and keep us sharp to keep moving forward towards that bigger goal, because you know it could become something that's far exceeds your expectations and imagination, you know, especially if you keep going with it and being very consistent and active, and also monitoring your progress and all that stuff. So, make adjustments when necessary to your routine based on your and based on your assessment and new goals. Did I Let me re-say that. Make any necessary adjustments to your routine based on your assessments and new goals. Stay committed to your routine and stay focused on your goals. So, stay focused meaning stay focused. Don't stay focused on it on a day-to-day basis. You'll overwhelm yourself, and it'll feel like this big mountain or this big rock that you're trying to push up. So instead of going in that terms, go more like, okay, how do I build each, like again, like think of it as Lego blocks. I've mentioned this before. So it's like Lego blocks. Just make sure that you build those Lego blocks so it could become that, let's say that big boulder. So if you're trying to build that boulder or build that mountain or whatever it is, like just think in terms of Lego blocks in each day. So focus on the small while working on the bigger. So let's make sure that the big stuff can be built based on working on the smaller. So don't pay too so on your day to day, don't pay too much attention on the small stuff, but make sure that you're staying aligned as well. So to not so you could tell and know where you're going with what it is that you're working on. I hope that made sense. It made sense in my mind, and I think it made sense to myself. If it doesn't make sense, I apologize. Um, but if it does, disregard what I just said. Okay. And review your progress daily, not daily, regularly. So when I say, so like, let's say every Sunday you like to go over what it is that you've gone through. So you could make a mental list and make a list of things that you want to start doing again, or do what worked for you that week, what didn't. So it's like that'll be more of a weekly thing, I would say, to re analyze what it is that you've gone through, and as far as your routines and your task and what it is that you accomplish, what needs to be more fine tuned, and take that time. It might take an hour, 45 minutes, but take the time um, to do it whenever, whatever day that works for you. You know, but take that time to just make sure that you're aligned. Make sure that you are actually engaged in whatever it is that you're working on or whatever it is that you want, you know, um, whatever that might mean. And lastly, just keep going. Like, this is more than just 30 days. Like, let this be the beginning of your journey, but this will far exceed the 30 days in which this challenge it is. Like, so keep moving forward. maybe even review some of these videos. So now I would suggest, if you've taken notes and or know which episodes or which, not episodes, which videos to watch, rewatch certain ones that really you need to horn in on, or maybe go over it again and just rewatch from the beginning all the way to day 30. And um yeah, because you never, and I've mentioned this before with Bob Proctor, not Bill. His name is not Bill. Bob Proctor. Um, repetition is how we learn. Repetition is not the only way we learn, but repetition is a part of our learning process. Um, repetition, it's repetition, trauma, and I forgot the last one. I was just listening to um, Brother Panic talk about it. But anyway, regardless, go check him out, by the way. As far as like working on yourself, like he speaks about a lot of stuff in the occult, but if that's something you're interested in, I recommend him. He's not everybody's cup of tea now, but if he is, go ahead. um but anyway, regardless of all that, this goes far beyond just these 30 days. This is, I would say, the rest of your life. Work on yourself for the rest of your life. So you could, you know, the most beautiful things come from people that just pay more attention to their self and the subtle things. So it's like, think of terms of like Marcus Aurelius or Socrates or one of those like philosophers that just like you'll read what they said, but then at first you read it and not really get it, and then it sinks in and you're like, oh, like it gives life more meaning when you pay more attention to the things that you've gone through and you reflect upon it, and then you could really help other people, like let this be something that could potentially pass forward, whether it is something that you share with the world and or just your family. Like, let it be something that could be in essence like a legacy of sorts. I know, um who is it? I don't want to misspeak. I think it was Jim Ron. He speaks about, journaling and the importance of journaling. Um, check out his stuff too. I don't know if he necessarily or if his family has a channel for him, but there's lots of stuff on YouTube as far as his work and his teachings. They're all on YouTube. Not all, but like a lot of his stuff is on YouTube. He has books as well, but check him out as well. There's so many people that I could just like tell you for days to check out, and um, there's just such a wealth of knowledge out there, and it's just like it's just there for us whenever it is that we're ready to just like pay more attention and become very more intention based. But anyway, he speaks about how his journal, he utilizes his journal and he uses it as a sounding board, like something to just like reflect on things and just and those are things that he's passed on to his children and or grandchildren. I don't believe he's here with us anymore, so he's definitely um he's definitely transitioned. um but even if you don't leave nothing else in this world, I think the best treasure would be to leave this. Leave your day to day. Like, I've I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but before I wrap up and leave, I just want to speak about, I feel like a lot of us have gone through and have experienced losing family members and or friends or relatives, whatever that may be, but we've lost people. And just to be able to get a glimpse into their life, just reading something they spoke about, reading just just the mundane things, like, the things that mattered to them while they were here. Like, those things are golden, because it's like it could be a beacon for whoever it is that starts reading it. It helps them realize that, no matter what time period you're in, we all face adversities and different things that is beyond our control. And how do we go about just staying calm and not succumbing to whatever emotions that's riding high, So, not to get too like emotional or anything like that. It's just like, just I would have treasured to be able to just read just something about some of the people that I used to be close to, family members that, were that are no longer here. And just to be able to read those things, like, I feel like like Jim Rohn's family and a lot of other people's families that has those great speakers that really understood the power of journaling, they have a great advantage. And at least there's people out there in the world that has that. So, um, but that could also be for your family too, like, just paying attention to yourself, reflecting, journaling. Is not to necessarily put any pressure on anybody, you know. Um, but this is more of like, we're utilizing this for in terms of just reflecting, but it's like it's pure gold, because it's like you've gone through things and then you reflect upon the things that you went through, and then you made something out of it, and then like you made it went from the mental spirit world to it becoming something that you created, and then it became the physical, and it's now here in the physical, and you're reshaping and reforming it and making it into something that it all started with a thought, a dream, a visualization. And most people don't get excited about those things. It's because we take life for too many people take life for granted. And for a long time I did too, until I started realizing that it takes so much to be able to make simple devices. Like, this was a dream. Like, a cell phone was a dream. If it wasn't for someone dreaming about the cell phone, where would we be today? The laptop was a dream. The lights was a dream. Like, like, just this is why I talk about gratitude, and just paying gratitude to the things that the smallest things, like, but anyway, so again, I want to say congratulations, um, on completing your 30 days. Uh, it wasn't easy, and I get it. Um, and it's not meant to be easy. Our lives are not, there are easy moments, there are slower moments, but everything is not supposed to just be one monotone moment. We're here for experiences, we're here to learn, to adapt, to grow, in whatever way that may mean for you. We don't let nobody define what it means to live life the way you want to live it. Okay? Um, there's going to be times, and there's going to be many times, whether it's family, friends, sometimes children, sometimes it depends on where it is, wherever point in life you are at. This is so interactive for anybody. And when I say I don't, this challenge isn't to be discriminatory to anybody. I don't care if you're from the youngest to the oldest person in the world. Like, this is for you if you're just if you just want to something to do and to change whatever it is that you want to do in your life. Like, if you want to shake things up, like, this is it. So I hope this helps. Um, This challenge definitely has been challenging to me, but it's been fun. It's been um, interesting. I won't lie. I may share some of the things I've went through by going through this challenge. Um, but anyway, learn thyself, love thyself, and again, much success, much love to you and your future, the life that you're imagining and creating, and just keep striving forward. You got this. Just keep going. And although this challenge may be at its end, it's never really at its end. And what I mean by that is we're still working on ourselves, and this is still a community. So it's like if you have any questions, any concerns, anything, just um at this moment in time, I don't have nowhere as far as like questions other than YouTube. That may change. So I don't want to speak nothing as if it's already done and it's all in concrete. So it's not concrete, but if things change and things like that, I'll keep it up to date as far as in the description if this is still on YouTube or wherever this video is housed at. These videos are housed at. Nothing, this is not the works of YouTube. These were something that I created um, based off of inspiration. So, and also me needing to make change in my own life. I'm like, if I need to change, others do too. And it's like, what could I do to be able to give back? And this is my giving back, and without any expectations. So I hope this helps, and we'll be seeing each other. Um, and I may have a nice little bonus that I didn't mention on purpose. There might be another video. Take care.